Arsenal are making moves, and after signing Leandro Trossard, Edu Gaspar isn't stopping. So today we'll get a massive update as we find out about Arsenal's new £20 million defensive signing. We'll also discuss a potential move for Eduardo Camavinga and find out how Mikel Arteta will line up in his title clash against Manchester United. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Babs14 and welcome back to your boys channel. Hope you guys are doing sensational and we have some breaking transfer news. So as per, don't forget to smash a like on the video if you enjoy, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and help your boy on his road to 150,000 subscribers. But let's get straight into the Arsenal news signings. Arsenal have their brand new wide forward. Belgian international Leandro Trossard is on his way to the Emirates Stadium, and after agreeing a £21 million deal. Today was the medical, and Fabrizio Romano confirms that Trossard has successfully completed all medical tests as an Arsenal player. Medical test passed, contract signed. There was only one thing left, and that was Arsenal's official announcement, and it was a beauty. Reminiscent of the Arsenal Invincibles, the glory days. And there he was, welcome to North London, Leandro Trossard, and he is officially the brand new Arsenal number 19. And as you guys can see, his ex-teammate Benny Blanco was a very happy man, and likewise was the Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta. Says we are really happy to have him. He's a player we followed for a while now, and we had the necessity to have a player in the front line who is versatile enough to play in different positions. That is the key with Leandro Trossard. He is a player that is so versatile. Left wing back, left winger and false nine. Trossard is ambidextrous, comfortable on both feet, and this stat sums it up, as this season he has taken an identical number of shots on his left and right foot, 19 and 19, and this was the same case in 2020 and 21. He might be right footed but not scared to use his left foot. Arsenal have a new weapon for their armoury, and we're gonna have a devastating ball striker. Trossard says, I'm really excited to get started. This is a big club and I'm ready to show the fans what I can do. Everyone has now seen how well they're doing. Everyone has seen how well we're doing already, and I'm here to help achieve their dreams, including myself. Trossard is here, he's fit and available, and he's not messing about. Straight into the Arsenal training, and his agent has confirmed the player was registered just in time before the 12 PM deadline, and he will be available to face Manchester United. But for an Arsenal policy that has signed so many young players, why then sign a 28-year-old Leandro Trossard? Well, as Mikel Arteta says, the squad can absorb right now a player of 28 years old. It's not that we had to sign 20, 21 and 22-year-olds for the next 5 years. That is not the plan. Arsenal are now getting to the final parts of their squad development. The overhaul is nearly complete, and Arsenal are now signing their finishers. They're adding the experience to a very young team, and why that experience is so important is because Arsenal want players that can have an impact straight away. And with Trossard being Premier League experienced, 25 league goals and 100 league appearances, Arsenal are getting a player that won't need time to adapt. And more importantly, for just £21 million, it's not too expensive. So as pointed out by the Gunner blog, signing Trossard will not seriously inhibit Arsenal's spending potential when it comes to their long-term plans. Planning for the summer is already underway. Having not signed Mykhailo Mudryk, it was very important for Arsenal not to panic and not spend that €70 million on an overpriced plan B. Instead, they were given a market option. In came Leandro Trossard, a low-risk transfer, and in my opinion, they have made a sensible move. But after making their first signing, Edu Gaspar is making moves, and as Fabrizio Romano says, it's not over for Arsenal yet, because the market is still open and Arsenal will explore opportunities. But where exactly are we talking? Is it right back? Is it central midfield? Well, Arsenal have always wanted another centre back, especially left-footed, as they only have Gabriel Magalhaes, and there's been plenty of names like Evan Ndika, but Arsenal have found a man in the Serie A. Spezia's Polish international Jakub Kiwior. It all starts off with Fabrizio Romano, as he confirmed that Arsenal were closing in on a deal to sign the Polish centre-back, a fee in excess of €20 million, and the deal was very advanced. A transfer surprise out of nowhere, Edu Gaspar moving in silence. Arsenal fans have barely processed it, and within half an hour, we had got the three famous words, as Fabrizio Romano confirmed that Arsenal had completed the signing of Jakub Kiwior. Here we go. Contracts are being signed, and Kiwior had agreed personal terms on a 5-year contract. Medicals to take place in the next 48 hours. It was done. Always expect the unexpected. A player that wasn't even linked to Arsenal is now going to be an Arsenal player. We've seen it in the past with Fabio Vieira. You can maybe even argue Leandro Trossard, but this is Arsenal showcasing that these guys can move in silence, and they have the ability to make transfers happen just like that. And as Fabrizio Romano says, Arsenal and Spezia have signed all the contracts. The deal has been sealed, and Kiwior will now fly to London with his agent to complete the medical. Arsenal have now made 2 signings in 2 days, and the title charge is getting stronger. But many Arsenal fans are asking the same question. Who exactly is Jakub Kiwior? 22 years of age and a Polish international, and he started every game for his country at the World Cup. And this guy was a player in demand. wanted by many top Italian clubs, Juventus, AC Milan, but also Borussia Dortmund, who according to reports even had a bid rejected for the player. And in terms of Arsenal, they have shown in the past, Mikel Arteta has an eye in the Serie A, and the prime example is Takehiro Tomiyasu. But for a player that's only had 2 seasons in the Serie A, why are Arsenal spending 20 million euros? What stands out straight away is the versatility, able to play in both centre-back positions, left-back, and also defensive midfield. And it's in that defensive midfield role where Kiwior made 20 appearances last season. This goes alongside the profiles that Arsenal have been targeting. The signings of Tomiyasu, Ben White, players that are able to play across the back four. Zinchenko can play in midfield. Jesus can play out wide. Slowly but surely, Mikel Arteta is assembling a squad full of Swiss Army knives. But his main position is definitely a centre-back, and being left-footed, it makes him a premium centre-back, because in the market there is a clear shortage of upcoming left-footed centre-backs. Arsenal have one of their own in Gabriel Magalhaes, and there's a reason why they signed him to a brand new contract. They understand his value. But what type of centre-back is Jakub Kiwior? This guy excels the most in the air, ranking in the top 6 for headed clearances in the Serie A. Kiwior is said to be a very aggressive centre-back. He likes to get into attackers' faces. He's a very passionate player, and it's worth pointing out, a lot of his minutes this season have been him playing in the middle of a back 3, and that's very important. Think about the role of Rob Holding and the emergency 5-3-2. With Kiwior's experience of playing in that position and being so dominant in the air, that experience could be perfect for the emergency protocol. But what about his on-the-ball ability? This season he's completed 85% of his passes, just slightly below the likes of Gabriel and Saliba. But where this guy excels is his ability to play long balls, and at the World Cup for Poland, he averaged 4 long balls per game. But for Mikel Arteta to sign him, he definitely has a lot of the fundamentals. Kiwior is a player that plays for a Serie A team that is mid-table, and therefore his ball ability is never maximised. You put him in the Arsenal environment and give him a bit of time to adapt, and the potential is undeniable. This is yet another step in Arsenal completing their squad, and by signing another left-foot centre-back, Mikel Arteta finally has a backup profile that can slot in for Gabriel Magalhaes. That being said, what are your thoughts on Arsenal signing Jakub Kiwior? Is this a good signing for Arsenal Football Club? And Arsenal have now signed 2 players for the combined fee of less than £40 million. Arsenal have used their Mudryk funds, and instead of panic buying someone, they have chosen to instead make sensible signings. And I don't think they're done just yet, and they are eyeing up a right back. Real Valladolid's even Fresneda. And according to reports in Spain, Arsenal have all but sealed the transfer of Fresneda. Arteta personally called the player and convinced him, and it remains to be seen if he joins immediately or is loaned back. Now this report is going very far, and there's other reports in Spain that also have claimed that Arsenal are closing. But in terms of the main man, Fabrizio Romano, he says that no decision has been made this week, and his agent will return to England next week to discuss with clubs including Arsenal and Newcastle for a January move. With Cedric going to Fulham, it's now crucial to understand Arsenal's next move after signing Kiwior. This seems to be the most consistent rumour, and as Arsenal have shown with their 2 signings, if they really want to sign a player and it meets their valuation, these guys won't hesitate. With the price tag being around 15 million euros, it's definitely very affordable, but there's plenty of competition. And there are some rumours that even if Arsenal were to sign him, they may have to loan him back until the end of the season. So with that being said, there is still a lot of negotiating, a lot of speculation, but let's wait and see if Arsenal make an offer. Let's now talk about a wide forward, and that is Crystal Palace's Frenchman, Michael Olise, who scored a screamer against Manchester United. And according to Sami Mokbel, Arsenal are monitoring Olise ahead of a potential summer move. However, Palace don't want to lose both Zaha and Olise. Michael Olise is a player that is so exciting. A creative wide forward on the right hand side. It would be the perfect backup to Bukayo Saka, and at 21 years of age, just so much potential. The creativity is certainly there, and this year he has 4 assists. He's a profile that I say is very similar to an ex-Arsenal target in Dejan Kulusevski, and according to many reports, he does have a release clause in his current Crystal Palace contract, around £35 million, with the fundamentals and the potential. In the current market, that's not too expensive. Having spent only £21 million on Trossard, it allows Arsenal to make other signings. Comment down below if you want to see Arsenal sign Michael Olise. But now let's move on to the midfield, and let's talk Declan Rice. As according to The Athletic, Arsenal are planning for the summer, and they are mounting a concerted bid to sign Declan Rice. It looks like this is going to be the main target, and having signed a wide forward and a left-sided centre-back, the central midfield is the next area for Arsenal to address, and with the availability of a player like Rice, Arsenal could certainly afford it. Arsenal can certainly attract him, and he's a player that would be an instant level raiser, and he would not need time to adapt. Signing Rice would be a way of future-proofing the Arsenal midfield, and it looks like the player is also interested, as according to James Bench, sources say that Rice has been speaking of Arsenal in glowing terms to his teammates, and he is said to be stunned with the progress of the North London side. I'm not too surprised to hear that, because even in terms of the media, every time Declan Rice has spoken about Arsenal, he's always been so impressed, and he must see a project, a team that's fighting for the title while also being the youngest in the league. The project is set to go boom, and top players will definitely want to be a part of it. But talking of top midfielders, let's talk Real Madrid's World Cup winning Eduardo Camavinga. According to Simon Collins, Arsenal have interest in a surprise loan deal to sign Camavinga, but at this stage it's unclear if Real Madrid would sanction a loan move. But the 20-year-old has struggled for minutes this season. Now this would be super exciting. 20 years of age, a World Cup winner, a France international, a Champions League winner, but he's only made a few starts for Real Madrid this season. Now Arsenal have a fantastic relationship with Real Madrid, and in terms of loan transfers, take Martin Odegaard as the prime example. The current Arsenal captain was signed initially on loan, and just look at him now. But I'm also going to hold back my excitement. With Real Madrid's main midfielder, Aurelio Tchouameni, currently being injured, would they allow for Camavinga to leave? Now let's move on to Arsenal versus Manchester United. The focus is all on a gargantuan game at the Emirates Stadium. Erik ten Hag's Manchester United, first place versus third, 8 points separating the teams. People are seeing this as a title clash, and ten Hag's United have been in amazing form, having won 9 out of the last 10 games. But then you have Mikel Arteta's Arsenal, winning 5 out of their last 4, and haven't lost in the Premier League since September. But that last defeat was of course the Manchester United, the only team to defeat Arsenal this year in the league, a game where Arsenal had a goal robbed and were hit on the counter-attack. It was a painful defeat and the Arsenal players will want revenge, but Ten Hag's Man United have been impressive, and they have kept 8 clean sheets this season, the third most in the Premier League, and they're also third in terms of big chances created, 42 in total. United have a few standout players, Marcus Rashford and Bruno Fernandes, and Rashford has scored 7 times in his last 8 games. But Arsenal of course are the league leaders, second most in terms of expected goals, and first in terms of home record. But let's talk about the team news. In terms of Manchester United, without the likes of Donny van de Beek, Diego Dalot and Jadon Sancho, they could also be without their main striker in Anthony Martial. But the real blow is the absence of their main midfielder Casemiro, having picked up his 5th yellow card against Crystal Palace. He is out via suspension. But in terms of the Arsenal, still no Gabriel Jesus or Reece Nelson. Mohamed Elneny is a doubt with a knee injury, but Arsenal do have the returning Emil Smith-Rowe, and also will have the availability of their new signing Leandro Trossard, who Mikel Arteta says is good to go. But in terms of the lineups up against Ten Hag's Man United, a team that's so in form, how is Arteta going to line up? Well, I believe it will be the standard 4-3-3, goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale and a back 4 of Ben White, William Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, Alexander Zinchenko, a midfield 3 of Xhaka, Partey and Odegaard, and a front 3 of Gabriel Martinelli, Eddie Nketiah and Bukayo Saka. The standard Arsenal team, the team that beat Spurs. It's a team in form but also a team that has confidence, and this game is going to be so important for Thomas Partey, having missed the last game against United via injury. With him in the team, Arsenal are a different animal, and with United not having Casemiro, Arsenal should have the midfield advantage, but United are still going to be dangerous. Under Ten Hag, United are tactically better and more organised than ever, but they are in the early stages of their project, and ultimately they are a team that is trying to replicate Arsenal, who are a team advanced in the same style, and therefore United will understand that they can't go toe to toe. Instead, I expect for United to sit back, and that's not by choice but more by force, because Arsenal are so dominant at home. United's press is not too aggressive and is not that successful, and once Arsenal play that, they're going to force them back, and then it's down to our front players. Can they open up an organised Man United defence that has kept 8 clean sheets this season? But let's not forget where United excel the most, and that is in transition, and the likes of Rashford and Fernandes on the counter-attack can be lethal, and that is why it's so important for the likes of Zinchenko and Partey to be on their job in terms of controlling transitions. This game will be one almighty tactical battle. This game is massive in terms of the title race, because before Arsenal play, you've got Man City, a game against Wolves at home, which I expect for them to win, and if they were to do so, they'd close the gap to just 2 points, and then it's all down to the Arsenal players. Revenge on their minds, and the Emirates Stadium behind them. United are decent, but Arsenal are better. What are your thoughts going into this game? And comment down below your Arsenal versus Manchester United matchday predictions. But that is the video there and there, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, don't forget to smash a like and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to follow your boy on all of his social medias, then the links are down below in the description. But that was today's episode of the Transfers FC, and Arsenal have now not just 1 but 2 signings in the bag, Leandro Trossard and Jakub Kiwior. But now the focus is on Manchester United, the Emirates Stadium, a title clash. How are Arsenal going to respond? They're going to find out, so I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.